Perfect timing. So Eddie's going to pass these out, the trivia things. You work as a group. The one absolute rule is no cell phone, Googling, whatever. You know them or you don't know them. It's the honor system, but if you want to rat out the table aside of you that's cheating, it's okay too. I know we've all done that. So with that, Eddie's going to set you up with the rest of how the trivia works. And one thing I'll remind you of is when you're done and you give your completed sheets to Eddie, mark the time on your sheets, because in case of a tie, that's the tiebreaker. All right?
So each table is a team. You can select a captain or somebody to keep score. They are all multiple choice, and it's called the All Over the Place Trivia Contest. And you'll see why.
That's one of those buddy right things.
All right, food is ready, so depending on how far you are removed from your food thing to win trivia, we have the first volunteer table ready to go. They're still working on their trivia. Remember, the timing is the tiebreaker. That's the only difference. Go ahead. You win, Billy. Go get them, Paulie. Go get them. They're up. They're up. If I can get your attention while you eat and finish up, and while Eddie grabs a bite so he can then announce the winners of trivia, we got a couple things done here first. First, I want to introduce the members of your board of directors that are here. I saw Timmy come in a little. Timmy and Rick came in a little while ago. Wave or do something. That's all. You don't have to stop eating. Just wave. Make sure they know you're here. Because you saw Brian and me already. Ed Gardella, which you'll be hearing from and maybe regretting shortly. Have you heard his jokes? 'Cause I have about 8 times in a row. And Billy Devereaux, who's also a coach. Billy gets drafted as coach a lot, and then I'm going to use him as the segue of wearing both hats. The other coaches that are here, and we don't get to do this without coaches, so Billy Graham couldn't come tonight, but we have Pat Toronto over here. Dave Giamato? Giamatteo. I'm going to work on that. I work for the Gorettis. You think I could say the name. Joe Korn and Joe Noon were draftees late in the year and saved our bucket more than once. Thank you, Joe. And by the way, so I don't forget, there is coffee and cake up here for whatever you want, and you can keep eating as much as you want. So let me give you a quick review, and then Eddie's going to come up and do his part. So we had, obviously, through COVID, a lot of leagues, and I'm on their, international thing for USA Softball. A lot of leagues either folded, shut down, or melted to a point where they couldn't field teams. And I'm happy to say we grew. We not only played through COVID with the cooperation of all of you in the city of Worcester, but then the following year we started adding members, and our membership is larger now than it was pre-COVID, and that's pretty cool. Now, we also grew in activities over the last year. I know you all know, but the opening day ceremony with the mayor and the city councilors and the president of the Woo Sox, and with his mascot Smiley, that started our official season off. We had 98 members and their families attend the game at Polar Park, and we're going to do that again next year, and I'd like to buy that whole section out. So we'll plan, this was a quick year, and we did a lot of things fast, but it was pretty cool. Anybody that went, that was fun. Yeah. Yes? Yeah. Very fun. And then if you haven't heard the last tour announcements we've been sending out on email, but some of you, those squirrels out of the trees that come down and give you messages instead of email, you're not getting the message. So we want to make sure you understand. Yeah. Who laughed? It has a rotary phone over there. Yeah, I heard it. Flip phone. Anyway, so we're going to play our last game of the year at Polar Park. on November 2nd. And we did the walkthrough on Wednesday, me and Brian. And we are going to invite all of you guests. You can bring guests. Everybody can go to the center field, in either in the seats or in that, what do they call it with the grass where you can throw a blanket down? Berm. So anyway, you're welcome, guests are welcome to go and watch the game from there. We're going to start with second base as our home plate and go to the outfield. So a couple of you guys, not me, may hit the wall, which would be kind of cool. You don't have to tell them where you started if you say I put a ball off of center field at Polo Park. So there. And we're not going to tell where you started. I'm going to go up and throw one off the wall just to make sure. So that's on Tuesday, November 2nd. And again, you can invite guests. Everybody will enter, and you're going to get all this again and again on email. I'm going to print a hard copy for you to bring home or to circulate around. But all players and guests will go in the main entrance. And there'll be somebody there, Dave. Remember when you said you'd do anything? That's it. People tell me they'll do anything. Oh, very silly. So Dave will be meeting you as you come in, and he'll tell you basically where to go, in more ways than one, but where to go as guests or as players. Teddy and Billy, you're going to have their trucks. We're going in a different way, so that don't count for you because you're bringing the equipment. We'll talk about that after. I'm not done using everybody in the room yet, so. And I appreciate that, Teddy and Billy. We need to move our equipment over there that morning. And then volleyball. Volleyball was shut down during COVID at Norton's, and over the period of time, Norton's decided it wasn't worth heating the building since they didn't charge us, and they actually put it on the chopping block. That building was going to be sold or closed, but either way, they're not maintaining it. So that's the bad news. The good news is the town of Leicester, something I have something to do with, bought Becker campus, and we're going to be the first people in there to use our volleyball starting November 4th at the Becker College gym. And again, you'll get specific directions, but it's a beautiful spot. You're going to love it. And then, Eddie, you ready with your trivia? You ready? You done chewing, or you want to wait? Hang on, because we can do other stuff. You good? All right. So once upon a time, I'll do some of Eddie's jokes. That ought to kill the room. Somebody give me a rope, quick. So I want to tell you about, and all those things I just announced, all the things we've done as a league, the things we've grown. It's through the support of not only you guys, but in particular the board of directors. And there's always a few that just go above and beyond. And I got to tell you something. I know how much work this is, but I've never seen anybody in all of my careers do more work than Brian Jensen. I want to bring him up here. And Terry, if you come up with me. Now, you know Brian added his print media, what the hell did you call it?
Underhanded comment.
Yeah, underhanded comments. That was an underhanded comment, me asking him. So he started with his underhanded comments, then he did his videos. Now you're on YouTube. We are famous throughout this country and in other countries. They actually view us. Now, they're laughing at us, but they view us. My daughter likes it best when we fall down, so I need a little more effort, because the last few games you guys have been standing up. It's just...
You know, when I figured that out, too, I started putting more swings and misses into the game.
Yeah, because other than us, they love this shit. So, what I really, really want you to know, and again, I've been part of more organizations than I can say, but I really want to, there's people that stand up, and there's people that lead, and there's people that jump in with both feet, and Brian added his hands and his head. We saw that on a few catches. But the reality is we really have gotten that much classier because of Brian and what you do. And the reason I asked Terry to come up here is, to be honest with you, as only my wife could know, when you do this kind of crap all the time, what we said maybe 4 words tonight, never mind the rest, the last whatever. So the spouse spends a lot of time listening to us bitch, and there's no 2 ways about it, because we do, or either be or overworked or underappreciated, all those things, and the spouse is the one that carries that water. So I wanted to, on behalf of our board, give you two a night out at Joey's. Because you both deserve it. And then before I hand it to Eddie, I have one more thing I want to do while I'm getting a little soapy, and then...
$10.
Wait, that's 9 more than I planned. Let me get that back. That's a glass of wine at Joey's. Speaking of whining, but anyway, this one I'll try to get through. But tomorrow is my 35th anniversary.
God bless her.
And Donna, who is the opposite of me, therefore shy, sweet, smart, and wonderful, is, at least wave, is really one in a million. Now, you're talking 35 years of which have been a combination of politics, being a union representative, traveling the country, and for somehow being a selectman in my town. And she was there for all of that. So, thank you, Donna. Eddie, follow that act. Come on down, Eddie. Oh wait, he's crying. The other two. Mouth to mouth's out of the question. So he said you didn't say that last night, did you? He really is choked up.
That's right, we got till tomorrow morning.
Speak for yourself. Then after this, we have our awards and our door prizes. So, why did he leave? I guess he's going to catch him. There you go. You all right? We can stall. You need me to? I told you I filled more space than this. You're on.
Thank you. I want to thank Doug for his great Joe Biden impersonation.
You want to start now? You don't want to start.
Thanks, Matt.
You don't want to start.
Richie.
You don't want to start. Oh, there goes Mac. Quiet, please.
Okay.
Do I dare do any political jokes when I get up?
Here we are. All right. Against which team did Babe Ruth hit his first home run?
Yankees.
Yankees. That's all.
Dodgers run the original.
New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Is the answer. What is it called when a bowler makes 3 strikes in a row? Everybody knew this.
A good
A
shot.
turkey. That's right, a good shot, a good 3 shots. Yeah. According to the Bible, and I expect Paul David to get this correct. According to the Bible, how many fish along with the bread were used to feed the multitude? And the answer is 2. There were 2 little fishies and 5 loaves.
All right, we're good.
In what year did World War I begin? July 28th, 1914. And it ended on November 11th, 1919. What is Donald Trump's middle name?
John.
Sheldon. No.
He's not that smart.
Who said John? That was the right answer. John. How many teams in the National Football League? That's kind of simple. Everybody got that right at 32. Which U.S. president did not die on July 4th?
Washington.
George Washington did not die.
That was a guess.
There was an anecdotal story about that I wish I knew, because John Adams was concerned that he was dying and that Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, they were kind of political rivals. That's right. And he wanted to know what condition that Jefferson was in, but they both died on the same day.
Who won?
The first president to live in the White House in 1880 was John Adams. 1880. 1780.
1780?
Right.
Wait a minute, I'm throwing a flag on the play here.
John Adams. Doesn't matter when. 1952. John Adams.
Okay, Mr. Trump.
The tallest mountain in the United States.
Wasn't on the list.
Mount Denali. Denali.
You know, it's awful you get embarrassed. People make a point of saying, hey, stupid. They said that in the nicest way. Well, it used to be Mount McKinley. Do you know how many feet it is, by the way? How tall it is?
7.
7? You're right. A shade over 20,000 feet. Mount McKinley, now Mount Denali in Alaska. How many times a day does the human heart beat? How many? 80,000. More? Actually, 103,000. Everybody, I thought this would throw some people, but everybody knew the country that Adolf Hitler was born, which is Austria. Excuse me. Maybe that meatball wasn't that good. The world's longest river. We had.
Come on, Eddie. Go back.
You want the microphone and say that?
No, we're all good.
The longest river, and all 4 choices got a vote. Not too many people selected the Nile, which is correct. The Nile is 4,100 miles long and passes through 11 different countries. Everybody got this right. The movie in which the volleyball was called Wilson
Caddyshack?
was Caddyshack. You're right. Castaway. Wilson, incidentally, the name of the softball was also the name of Tom Hanks' wife.
Just watch it. No, you can make it a show.
Which planet is the hottest? Brian, why did you put the sun?
Yes?
Because
It's not a planet.
the hottest one, I think everybody got this right, is Venus.
Yep.
This was a close call. How many parts does the average car have, including bolts and screws? 30,000. 30,000. How many soccer players are on the field?
11.
Easy, 11. Okay. Which European nation is said to have invented the hot dog? Germany. Did you ever hear of the town called Frankfurt? That's where it came from. Invented in 1487. The first major league pitcher to throw a ball over 100 miles an hour was Nolan Ryan. The first baseball player to appear on a Wheaties box. It happened the very first time in 1934. Was Lou Gehrig. The first U.S. president to appear on TV. It happened April 1st, was the opening ceremony of the World's Fair in New York City. April 1st, 1939, Franklin Roosevelt. Everybody knew, here's looking at you, kid. My favorite movie, Casablanca. What was the nation's first capital? Philadelphia. No.
New York.
New York City from 1785 to 1790, New York City. What player hit 70 home runs in 1998?
Brian.
Everybody got a vote here. But the right answer was Mark McGuire. I thought this would throw a lot of people for a loop. Who became president and vice president without being elected to either office? Gerald Ford. If you remember, Spiro Agnew resigned, and as Speaker he became vice president, and then
Nixon resigned.
let me say this about that. I am not a crook. Where is he when we need him? Where's Nixon when we need
Working
him?
on that one.
And then when Nixon left, Gerald Ford became president. All right. Raging Bull, the story of Jake LaMotte. And as a bonus question, in 1955, Bill Haley and the Comets made Rock Around the Clock.
Just so you'll know, Ashley is ready to pack it up, so if you consider this last call on the food, but the bar is still open. So if you want food, and the cake and coffee will stay out, right? But the food, if you want something, go get it.
So this was a close call, because on the last question, there was 3 parts, and we cut them into thirds. So David, your team had 6 1/3 wrong for second place.
Oh, okay. We're
The winning team had 6 wrong. The Jensen table. All right. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that.
We beat you again, Dave. So close. Don't send the runner at third. Wow. You good?
We don't wait with you.
Oh, we'll make that part of the door prizes. All right, whatever you don't give away. We're not, thank you, Eddie. One more round for Eddie. I want you to know something. Eddie, a couple days ago, the last 10, 12, 14 days, I thought he was checking out on us. He's been hurting. And he has been tested. He's wonderful, positive as far as all the bad things that are around. But he's still fighting a cold, but he was still determined to come here and play. And he's been smart, courageous, and tough, and made through kind of a crappy time. But he still tells bad jokes. It's just apparently not a cure. But the rest of them's getting so much better. Thanks, Eddie. We have door prizes. Now look, I'm going to run this by once, but I'm not really going to repeat them a lot. There's 4 $50 bills up here. 4 separate door prizes, $50 bills.
Thank you.
There is a whole lot of Woosok stuff. The 2 beer mugs go together. I don't care whether you keep the 2 little guys up here together or separate, that's up to you. We have Woosok's hat. Rick brought us a number of baseball books that are pretty cool. And a $25, I thought there was 2 of them. Well, is it? Oh yeah, $25 gift certificate for Joey's. And then lastly, but certainly not least, our friends at Shooters, who's Teddy's son, brought us a couple of gift certificates worth $125, and they include 2 billiard tables for 2 hours, up to 5 cheese pizzas and crispy tortilla chips, and homemade salsa. No booze? No. Just kidding. anyway, Teddy's son Toby, shooters. First, give him a round of applause and thank him for bringing these. So with that, since we'll do all this, and since Teddy's family are kind of us guests here for coming and bringing that stuff, Toby, why don't you draw the first door prize? Listen, make 1 friend and 54 enemies. Dean! Dean!
Hey, Dean!
Come on down. Pick at the table. Now this is real tricky. I move these things along. That's why your name's on them, and I'm not calling out numbers and waiting for you to wake up from your drunken stupor and realize you got the ticket. So you pick a ticket, you give me that, and you pick your prize before the next person gets up here, because they can run you over. I don't need a mic, really, you know that. I said, one of 8 kids. Fran, you're next. Come on up, Fran. Pick at the table.
All right, Fran.
You have cash, you have shooters, you have ducks, you have blue socks. Pick a ticket. All 4 of those envelopes are money tickets. Or money, really. Gene! Gene! Oh! Those are all $50. Now, the little envelope that says bank on it, that's the money. Thank you, Bob. Yes, thank you. Pick at the table here. The bank envelopes are the money. There's the shirts. Here we go. Serena. Teddy's daughter, correct? Pick a ticket. All right. The bank envelopes are $50 bills. You know this place called Shooters?
Take a shirt.
Or shirts or whatever. Take one, help yourself. Thank you. Bill Kraus.
Billy!
All right, there's one $50 envelope left, and the shooters and the rest of the prizes. Pick a ticket before you pick a 9 else. All right, while he's thinking, next one is Rick. Rick Munster, come on down. Pick a ticket. Mark Andrews.
All right, Mark. Clean up.
Mark's on a roll. He's already sucked down that bottle of wine. All right, take your pick. There's shooters, books, shirts. Oh, on the shirts, by the way, if they're not the size you want, a simple exchange at the Woosok store.
Okay.
I just took all, I think large or extra large, whatever I picked, but there's a simple exchange. Teddy! Hey, Teddy, there's this place called Shooters? Oh wait, your son owns it.
You better get used to it.
Teddy's coming up like he runs the first.
You need a runner? You need a runner?
A runner for Ted.
Ted, I'll run for you.
Get it up there, Teddy. Get it up there. Ian Noon. For some reason married to Joe. We can't figure it out.
God bless her.
Yeah.
That's it. Deserves that and more. Pick that one. Thank you. Who the heck? I don't know if I can pronounce this. Donna Belanger. She's good. We had to pick this stuff out. Let me help you. I like Toby's place. All right, can we square up that tab? Donna, you have to pick one, I'm sorry. I'm too busy handling it out. Tab Bassett. I think they stacked the deck over here.
I blame
All right, we have 2 great beer mugs and the Woosocks little guys up here. Let's do this.
All right, I know which one I'm taking.
Ed Gardella!
Hey, you gotta be present to win, right? Oh, he's here.
They announced they were here.
I hate to tell you, but we also have wine.
Separation inside.
I remembered when Eddie said it. Whatever you want up
Really,
there.
huh? What deal?
Yeah, pick a ticket.
Boy, don't you wish you left those glasses with the Muppets in them?
I'm gonna bring it over here. Get the last one. What'd you get? Terry Jensen!
Hey!
There you go. Eddie's checking the vintage.
Whatever.
Terry, I'm picking for you. Paul Elwood!
Runner from the table.
All right, if we all know Paul, so I'm thinking she needs the wine. Get away from Eddie. Trust me when I tell you. Paul, tell her, get away from Eddie.
He's got a good pension.
Yeah, pick a ticket and get away from Eddie. Anytime. Thank you. Jean Bratt.
All right.
Yeah, pick him. Bobby Corrin.
Bob?
Another one that gets a medal for being with Joe. Another one. There's 2 of them with 2 Joes. It's scary and they're at the same table. Take a ticket. Thank you. Take a ticket. Mac!
Richie!
Mac! Yay! Mac! You don't have to run for him until he gets to first.
Hey, he's not thinking of running next year.
We have that, the shooters, or 2 wines. Here, one. There you go. All right, I'll be with Mac and shooters if anybody's looking for us.
Good boy, Richie.
All right.
Pat Torino. Runner from home. Runner from home. All right. I don't blame you. I'll tell you, I dealt with that. Nope.
You're gonna need another one of those if you went back.
I do it by the shot. Bill Kraus.
On a roll.
He didn't put his wife's name.
I know.
Nice. Everybody, he didn't put his wife's name down. His name in there twice. Nice.
Wow.
All right, pick off play on the left table. All right, the last bottle of wine, but the best is for Ernie. All right, that's it for the raffles. Don't forget to tip your waitresses. I'll be here on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Meanwhile, back at the farm, now we've got some pretty cool stuff to do, and I will turn this over to Brian. Brian, come on down. Now, I was going to hand it up, and this is where I was going to give Brian and his bride their thing, but we already did that because, well, we were almost losing Eddie, so so we segued. Brian, it's all yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got some recognition to give out here, and I'm just trying to, let me get things set up here, because I'm going to need this shortly. Recognize for the fun we had. Cy Young Award. everybody knows Cy Young.
Not personally.
Not personally, no. Some people actually do here. In fact, I think Ernie grew up next door to Cy Young. When they were 6 years old, they both went to school together, and they used to play catch at recess. And problem was, leather hadn't been invented yet, so they didn't have a glove or a ball. So they used to throw a rock at each other. And poor Ernie used to get beat up. He'd come home, be all bloodied, all beat up and everything, because Cy threw so fast at him. And his mother, you know parents back in the day, they just say, sit down, shut up, just eat your lard cakes, drink your brown water, and don't forget to go out and build a fire next to the outhouse so your father doesn't get really cold when he goes the next time. And make sure you don't put it too close to the hole, because that explosion last time was really bad. So anyway, we don't have a Cy Young Award. We have a Cy Sperling Award. Cy Sperling, you may remember, back in the 90s, the Hair Club for Men. I'm not also the president of the Hair Club, I'm also a client. Well, we're giving an award today to Doug Belanger for his insistence on not wearing a ball cap until it's absolutely necessary and keeping his hair coiffed in a nice situation. So, Doug, here you go. Congratulations. Good job. You are the president. In fact, he is the president. So fantastic. We started a YouTube channel this year, and I was a little scared actually when I thought about doing this last year, because I didn't know just how much work this was going to be, and it turned out, well, ask my wife. She went to bed, never with me. Hopefully no one else either. But
She likes the hair.
But I mean, I was up late at night putting things together. But on game days, I was always looking for cameramen, and it's amazing. These guys scattered like cockroaches. When it would be time for me to go to the plate, it's like, I need someone to hold. Hello? No one around to hold the camera. I mean, there were a few guys, they'd hold this camera and it would be like they're holding a turd. Some of the guys, I'd get the video back and I'd have to look because they're showing the camera and it's all just a picture of them. They're holding the camera backwards. So you just take a right, Pat? Yeah. So I'd have to look into the reflection off your sunglasses to be able to tell what was going on in the field. But there was one guy, and actually there were a lot of guys who helped out. I mean, Dave Giammatteo was a big help. Dave was great because he had a voice like Pat Summerall when he would do the play-by-play, which was fantastic. The one guy, though, who had a voice like, what's his name?
Bugs Bunny.
John Madden. And who took the camera, in fact, would take it out of my hand because he loved doing this, and he did a fantastic job. That's Joe Newman. Joe did a great job. So, for the fantastic video and play-by-play. By the way, Joe, my daughter watches the videos. She says, I love when Joe's on the video. So we give this year's 2021 Spielberg Award to Joe Newman. Thanks a lot, Joe. All right. Okay. Now we have the Rookie of the Year Award. Now, generally, Rookie of the Year involves a lot of statistics. But we don't deal with statistics here because we're old. Okay? And when you're dealing with the association like we've got here, the main focus of what we're looking to do here is participation. And this person got very involved with the group. So involved, basically came to about 95% of the games and probably traveled further than anyone else who came to the game. I've been saying this person because I didn't want to say he or she. Because if I say she, it throws it off right away. This year's Rookie of the Year is Gene Butler. Excellent dedication to University County Senior Athletic Association. All right.
Good for you, Jeannie.
Okay. The 2021 Hit of the Year. Now there were a lot of guys. I'll tell you, I'm impressed. I mean, by Stan, one of the reasons I love coming here is because everybody here makes me feel like a kid again. Because I'm like the rookie, which is great, because I was the old man for the longest time playing softball. I'm playing ball with guys like George Carlson, who's 87 years old, and plays better than some of the guys I used to play with in my 20s. This guy can still run on his own, hits the ball great, and every time I come up to him and say, George, you're having a great game, he's like, yeah. Not really. That wasn't a very good hit. But he plays great. So, I mean, there's some great hits. Joe DeConza, who unfortunately is not here tonight, I wish he had him. But Joe DeConza had a great hit. The guy's 83 years old, hit a grand slam into the screen in left field during the season, which is a fantastic hit. But we've got one guy who had to hit a ball on August 10th. This guy came up to the plate. He could barely walk. Has anyone seen the Kirk Gibson in the 1988 World Series? Oh, yeah. You already know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it's you, Artie. Artie comes up to the plate. I'm just going to let you see it here. Let me see if I can play. Here's Artie at the plate. Now, Artie, his back is killing him. He can't hardly move. The guy can't even stand up straight.
Brian, step back.
You're not going to have to run too far, Billy. This ball's not going anywhere. Put your back into it, Artie. There you go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, home run! You gotta let him run. You gotta run a home run. Are you kidding me? They put that thing up in the screen.
So this year, we're showing true intestinal fortitude in overcoming a major obstacle and hitting a home run to the left field screen on August 10th, 2021. 2021 Hit of the Year goes to Artie Williamson. All right, Joe, shut up. Come on, stop it now. All right, Joe, just get so carried away, Joe. All right, the next one.
He hurt his back. Got Joe away.
This next award is for the Catch of the Year. There have been a lot of catches. Some guys have made some great catches. I saw Lenny Alvarado get up like 1.5 feet in the air and steal a line drive away. And there was one, Ron Scarborough was another one. Caught a ball while he's running, caught it behind his back. Didn't even see what he was doing. But there's one guy who deserves this award, and I'm really trying to slow down this until I can get to it here, because you've got to see this, and you're going to have to look close because it was low. And Doug Belanger did a great job of shooting this. Here we go.
Are you kidding me? Leo gets it in there. I hope that's on film. I have it pointed, it just depends how clear it is. For those of you watching on TV, you can see it. I put it on my
So, the Catch of the Year, the Play of the Year, the Play of the Decade goes to Leo Quinn for his amazing waist-high backhanded catch as he was running toward the right field fence. Good job, Leo. All right, good job. It really irked me because it was my fly ball, you know? Yeah.
It was on my team.
Okay. Let me turn this down. Okay, we got a couple more. During the season, we do have a couple, I guess you could call them statistical awards. The first one here is the Coach's Cup. Now, a lot of guys looked at the stats I was putting in week to week and couldn't understand what the heck was going on. But these numbers, basically, you win these awards a lot more on participation than anything else. The Coaches Cup goes to the coach who basically had the highest point total for the year. And you got 4 points for drafting a winning team, 2 points if your team came in second, and 1 point if your team came in last. And this guy, this is the second year in a row he won this. The first year we're actually giving out an award. And this, okay, so our next award, where did it go? Oh,
I'm Vanna White.
thanks Vanna. All right, so the player's plaque goes to the player who was on the most winning teams. Now, when we look at how this works out, there's almost, combined winning teams that had the highest second place and third place points. 50% of winning this award is showing up. Another 40% is making sure you've got some good players on your team, and 10% is luck. So the 2021 WCSAA Players Plaque goes to Ted the Lone Ranger Bassett.
This is for everybody that played.
For everybody that played. Teddy, by the way, was on
Winners and the losers.
the winners and the losers, even the losers, huh?
Teddy, we're not done with you yet. Get over here.
All right, Teddy, you all know when you play, but Teddy gets there, he's the only one who gets there before me every day. And it doesn't matter when I go. I slept over once, he was there before me. Did you get thrown out that night? Anyway, Teddy gets there, he prepares our field with his lawnmower. That's why he's the Lawn Ranger, and I think. And Teddy would not take a nickel for gas or anything, gets there early, drags our infield, sprays our outfield. We still haven't figured out what the hell you're doing out there. And then scares me and Wally to death because we sign the insurance forms when he's giving little kids a ride on his tractor. I'm already 71 and want to make it to 72. Stop that part. But we have something special for Teddy because this is a first and very special award. We want to give our first Worcester County Senior Athletic Association Golden Ticket Award. There's a story behind that later. To Ted. What this entitles, it's in recognition of your continued hard work and dedication to the grooming of our ball field. This certificate entitles you to free lifetime membership, including all outings and events with the league. With us as a Worcester County Senior Athletic Association, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this award 1,000%. And I just want everybody to know here that this is all possible because of all of you. All of you deserve this and everything.
All right, we all got free membership.
I was just going to say, Teddy, that's out, or we don't have a league. Bad idea, Teddy. Go back to grooming. I'll take care of the business. Somebody run the home for him, will you? Yeah, that's where, as soon as he said that, no! And Wally, where he is, just rolled over twice. So, look, we really appreciate everything you've done, hanging in there through COVID and all the other things that we've done to be able to grow as a league, to continue to have some fun. We'll see you over the next couple of weeks at our Logan Field, and then on Tuesday, November 2nd at Polar Park. And then that Thursday, the 4th, we start volleyball at the Lester Becker Gym. With that, the bar is still open. You're welcome to stay, go, do whatever you want, but God bless you and thank you all very much.
Hey, everybody, just before we go, I think we need to give Doug a great round of applause. The guy has busted his butt to make everything happen, the Polar Park and everything else for the league. He got us volleyball this year, which we probably would not have had until God knows when, because we lost Nortonville. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate everything you do.
All right, well done. Thank you.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
We're gonna move the time up next week to 10 o'clock.
And just so you know, this week's games, if we play Tuesday looks kind of sketchy, but Thursday looks good. They're going to be at 10 o'clock. We'll start batting practice around 9:30, but we want to make sure guys can actually see the ball, because I was afraid after Thursday's game, I thought we were going to have to rent a bus to give everybody a ride home, because everybody was blind after that game. It was brutal. But 10 o'clock is the game time, 9:30 batting practice, okay?
Okay, remember the free table up here, we have those string backpacks, we have the ones folks like for shopping, and we have golf towels. Take all you want, there is no greed here, I don't want them back in my car. You have the bags, you have backpacks, you have golf towels, also work great in my garage. You'd like some, Pat, I use them when oil changes, everything. So please take as much as you want, there's no, just take them.